Are you looking at me, Nub? All right, so hello, hi. It's me with Nub. My name is Natalie, and I'm the Good Shepherd here on our small hobby farm in central North Carolina. And I don't do many live videos, and yet I decided to do this live today because I do share every day the things that go on with my hens in particular. And so what's been going on with Nub, today I figured, well, I'm coming in to go ahead and tend to her and treat to her. And basically what I'm doing with her is full speed ahead everything that we do for any situations with hens when we think they might be egg bound or have sour crop or water belly or what's going on with them, why she's shaking her head like this, and so forth. So I'm going to start off the bat by saying thank you for anybody who is joining in right now. I'm not really good about reading responses as I do these things because I really am here for educational purposes to share. I just got finished doing the first step today with Nub. She just had a nice 20-minute Epsom salt soak in a nice warm bath. She loves it. She squats down in it, and usually they'll poop. Epsom salt soaks are perfect for whenever you don't know what's going on with your hen. Are they egg bound? Is it sour crop? What's going on with her head right now? I'm gonna go ahead and bring her over here to this side. So she does have sour crop for the third time. And, oh, did you just poop on me? Did you poop on me? Did you poop on me? No, you didn't. So let me see if I can get my camera propped up here. What's going on? Oh my gosh, look at my Alexa coming on. Alexa off. Alexa off. Her head is shaking like this. Chickens have very sensitive, that's where their sensory is. That's where all animals' sensory is their head. Kind of like us, but we have a brain that talks and they don't talk. They shake their heads a lot. She's shaking her head at this point because if you've ever had something like phlegm stuck in your throat, look at her just, you want to like, you're trying to do kind of those things. So her shaking of her head, and then she'll pull her head down like this towards her chest area. This is her crop. And she's doing it because she's feeling, well, kind of like we feel if we go to Golden Corral and we get the all-you-can-eat buffet. And we start off with a salad that's like enough for an army with potato salad and everything on top of it. And and then we eat like the pot roast and ribeye, and we load up, and then we leave there and we go, oh God, where's the Tums, T-U-M-S? Well, we don't die from that necessarily. And yet that's a similar way you can describe it. So what I'm going to start to do right now is I'm massaging her crop. I tell you, my flock is on fire every day. And yet anytime I want to do anything for myself, they have to start getting crazy. I'm massaging her crop. Sour crop, I've been treating her. This is the third time around. This is Monostat 7, okay, for sour crop. When a hen presents with sour crop, you're going to know it's sour crop because, well, this crop right here is mushy and it feels like beads, B-E-A-D-S, like a bean bag or like liquid chicken feed. Alexa, off. So you can feel it. It shouldn't be this full, and it is mushy. But what's going on with her, if you can see, it's more to the right side. But you see how full this is right here, her crop. What I've also determined with Nub, let me explain really quick before I continue any further. Nub is a rescue hen. She's a battery hen. I didn't know what battery hens were. We rescued 12 battery hens in April of 2025. We thought we were getting 12 mature hens to feed our 12 hungry roosters. And when we arrived to pick these girls up, I was like, these girls had no feathers, their beaks all cut back. They looked like they belonged in the refrigerated section of a grocery store to be sold like for somebody's dinner. But they had eyes. and Nub was the one. Of the 12, we wanted 12, and there was cages everywhere, and the lady said, go get what you want. And it was Nub who was the tiniest one, and her little eyes were just staring up at me, and I was like, 12. I counted 12. I said, these are the girls. So after we brought them home, did the quarantine and all of that, and, introductions, I began to research battery hens. And battery hens are hens that are born and raised with the sole purpose of mass producing, laying eggs daily that are sold across our country's grocery stores. And while these hens are living in the hen house, they're treated terribly. Their beaks are cut so they don't kill each other. They're crammed into cages, 80 birds, ceiling to floor, wall to wall, no human interaction really at all. They're pumped full of injectable as well as edible hormones to pump up their egg production. They're put into days of darkness to put them down, into this mode, and then the injections are pumped full, and then the lights, it's almost like a Criminal Minds episode, like where they torture people, put them in darkness, and then light again. So at the age of 12 to 18 months, these girls are done laying eggs. And what happens is battery hens are then shipped off for slaughter to be used for pet food. So if you ever buy your cat or dog food and it says made with real chicken, these are the chickens, the battery hens. So let's start there. My 12 battery hens, rescued in April of 2025, I have lost 4 of the 12. And it's been one by one, and I knew that's how it was going to go. At this point with Nub, I've learned from my other 4 battery hens that have died, they're dying from cancer. Yeah, cancer, whatever. Masses, tumors that eventually burst, and it's like internal bleeding, and there's nothing you can do. So, with that all being said, what also happens during this time with the battery hens is sour crop is coming not from the normal conditions of perhaps old feed or wet feed or something like that. I did everything in my coops out there to sour crop proof, and it's the battery hens. And the sour crop is coming because there are masses inside of them. I've already felt 3 tumors, masses inside of Nub. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to later on, I'm just, showing you this for the live video purpose. But for sour crop, you're going to massage. You're going to put them on Monistat 7. And she hasn't had this yet for tonight, twice a day. Just straight to the beak. They usually like it. With Lady M, my battery hen who just passed away this past week, she was so unwell. She wouldn't even, her beak was like, I'm not taking anything. At least Nub is opening up her mouth and taking this. Sour crop is a yeast infection, just like a woman gets a vaginal yeast infection. Well, sour crop is a yeast infection. It makes sense. The feed gets yucky inside of here, and they don't have any other way to feel better. So we just get that all in. And what you would normally do with sour crop is for 48 hours, withhold all food. Definitely bring in, put in a cage, and the only thing they're going to have is apple cider, the mother apple cider vinegar, with crushed garlic in water for 48 hours. No food, just the mother apple cider, garlic water, and twice a day, Monistat 7. After 48 hours, you can then go ahead and reintroduce them to food depending on what their crop feels like. Nub's not a normal case here of sour crop. This is a case of her body is beginning to shut down. And when I say shut down, I've been working with hens for many years now. And what I've learned about life and death is that with, birds, it takes a long time. So it can be several weeks. what happens with a lot of people is they're just not aware. And so they find their hen on the day that they're dying. Oh, they died from sauerkraut. With me as the Good Shepherd, Natalie, I am here 24/7. I share literally my whole life with my flock. I'm inside and outside all the time with all of my birds. So sauerkraut, that's the first thing. Let me go ahead, turn her around and show you what's going on her rear. Because she's got a lot of issues going on. She's so chill. Sunshine. She is chill. Okay, so what's going on her rear end here is, well, Nub never grew feathers back here. So this is the way she's always looked. In fact, she had no feathers when she came here. None. She literally, her whole body was like this. She's my most precious little girl. I have a very intimate bond with her. Her rear here, and this is why I'm doing this live video, because she's presenting with all the issues that people, you know, have with their hens, and they wonder, oh, what's going on? What's going on? She's got it all right now. And that's because she has probably cancer and everything's, you know. So she's very warm, very red, very full. I did just give her a 20-minute Epsom salt soak bath. I gave her the Monistat 7. I'm going to go ahead and also put Preparation H on this red area here because she already had the Epsom salt. Preparation H helps with inflammation. And basically it's just very cooling, soothing. I'm really not good about responding. I hope I'm not missing anybody what they're saying. I saw somebody said she's so chill. She is. So we got the Preparation H on. I've had Nub on, she's on day 3 now of antibiotics. 1 pill a day. It's amoxicillin basically that I get from the veterinarian. If you call your veterinarian, go ahead and make sure you always have antibiotics on hand if you have hens. These are things you can have on hand, and it's the worst thing in the world if you don't. Oh man, antibiotics, perfect. And yet, she's been through this treatment before, and what I'm saying again with Nub, it's the damage was done in her first life in hell. Does it always make them pass away? Chicken butt. But I don't know what you're asking. If it does what always make them pass away? Sauerkraut does not always make them pass away. No, you can definitely catch that in time. I've had many of my birds get it, and they're still out there, and they're like 4 years old. You know, that's when I started. Chicken butt again. Okay, so the other thing you want to have on hand that you get from the veterinarian, I have Metacam, which is pain medicine. Pain medicine, you know, no life should suffer. And so Metacam is safe for all animals. And it's really a nice chill. It doesn't like knock them out like OxyContin or something, and just a little tiny bit there into her beak as well. I've been giving her the Metacam once or twice a day, depending on what I see of her. Okay. The other thing I'm also doing with her, this is another product I always have on hand, and I don't promote anything. I'm not selling anything. That's not what I'm here for. VetRx is for upper respiratory functioning. And chickens, that's usually how they're going to die, is something with upper respiratory functioning, okay? VetRx, I add it to my chickens' water outside when it's really hot, these like extreme temperatures. It's in all their water. I add it to the humidifier when they are having breathing problems. It's kind of a lot like Vicks, you know, Vicks mentholatum that we rub like under our nose or on our chest. But what I love using with the VetRx is if you look at her comb, the battery hen's combs are not going to be as red as most chickens are because that's just, this is how it is. Her comb does not look too bad. It's a little pale, but when you see blue, she doesn't have blue. When you see blue on the tips of their comb, that means they're not getting enough oxygen or blood flowing through their body, and that's not good. VetRx, a little dab here, kind of like giving you a little mohawk treatment. This is directly absorbed into the comb and goes straight into the body. Whatever it does wonders, and probably in 2 minutes you'll see her comb turns a little bit redder. So we did the sour crop. I'm going to keep rubbing that after this video is over because I do have to get to everybody out there outside. But what I want to also show, this is something I don't like doing, and I've already done it with her. Going into a vent is something I do often. I have no problems with that. I don't like putting needles. And yet, because her rear is so red and inflamed, I have to go in with a needle one more time. You can get these needles. I'm not really big. I'm not a veterinarian. I don't have any medical advice here. But this is so full, which indicates possible water belly. Water belly occurs in chickens as a separate entity. Water belly comes when something else is already going on, like these masses and tumors she has inside of her. So when water belly does present and you see liquid coming out, that is the biggest indicator that their organs are already shutting down. Water belly, they can survive a few days, but no longer than that. So I just get these little needle, different sizes, and I really hate doing this. I don't know why, I just hate doing it, but I hate it. But I'm gonna do it. So red, it's so red. Okay, you wanna find, I'm going in. Okay, once this is in, what I'm waiting to see is if there's any liquid that comes out. And there's not. And this was like yesterday too. I hate going back in 2 and 3 times. Okay. And I hate, I'm gonna get this other needle over here. I have my favorite needles, and she's a small bird. Okay. So nothing came out of here. Good girl. I'm gonna go in one more time over here. Bless your heart. So this is not water belly. If it's water belly, you're gonna see liquid immediately start to come out. Can you use a regular syringe and just pull it out? Yes. I mean, I have different sizes and everything. You know, if it's a bigger bird that, you know, and if you put it in and there's liquid starts to come out, but it's slow, if you put a bigger, thicker needle in, you know, it's going to let the flow come out faster. But she's not having any liquid come out. What I'm hearing is more so in her vent. So I'm going to go ahead and go into her vent. Okay. I'm so sorry, honey. All done. Yesterday I went into her vent and the same thing happened with my other 4 battery hens that passed away. They have masses and they rupture. And it's not because of me going in, you know. I use vegetable oil to go into their vent. My name is Natalie the Good Shepherd and I do not use gloves. That's who I am. So the comments of that can just be pushed aside. I don't mind what people say. Vegetable oil is a natural stimulant as well as a lubricant. You can use KY jelly, and you can also use olive oil. Do not use Vaseline. Okay, so what you want to do, let me see if I can get the camera a little bit better here because I need to see. And this is what I share a lot, is when I'm working with my hens, I video everything for me, number 1. And number 2, so I can see. Otherwise, I'm like this, and that makes it hard to do. So when you first go in, okay, first of all, notice I'm not holding her, and I am checking for egg bound right now. I don't think she has an egg, but you know what? I did feel an egg the other day, and that's what I thought with my other birds, and that was the masses. She goes, get out of here. Okay, she's already starting to poop on her own. The vegetable oil, when I say is a natural stimulant, it gets them going. I'm going in gentle, and what I want is her to poop. This is a dual effort. This is not about me sticking my finger into a hen's vent and pulling anything out. Okay, I'm working with her. You've seen her already try to get away from me, and she's standing. I don't know. Well, I do know. She has masses. Nub is one of my battery hens, and she's listen, we're all born to die. So I don't like saying she's dying. I mean, she's alive today, and today is all that matters. But she definitely has masses inside of her. If your chicken's running, then they... Okay, here we go. This is what I want is poop, okay? That's good. If the poop comes out, that means she's ready to work with me. When you go in with your finger to a chicken's vent, they're going to guide you. I know it sounds crazy. I've been doing this a lot, and I've learned a lot about a chicken's vent. It's one hole, and yet that hole leads to many places. And they're going to guide you. And so when people have said, I don't wear gloves, it's me. And I've Dawn dish detergent and fingernail brushes, and I'm somebody who needs to really feel. There's a lot of people in life who don't like to wear condoms during sexual intercourse. I don't like to wear gloves while going into my chicken's vents. Happy birthday. Okay, here we go. Here's more poop. Clearly, if this was hurting her, she would be screaming or running, and she can. I'm trying to feel for an egg. What did I just walk into? What is wrong with these people? This is my pet hen. This is a hobby farm, and I love her, and I'm helping her. And getting the poop out of her is one thing. I'm trying to feel if there's an egg. Okay. It's not that she's constipated. She's not clogged. That's an issue with hens too. Okay, so she's guiding me right now. She's letting me come in a little bit more. Okay, and I'm also using my hand right here now to start pushing up a little bit. If it is an egg, which I don't think it is, if it is an egg, the egg has to come up to come out, and usually the issue is the egg is too big. That's why they become egg bound, or it's sideways. I don't understand why people are so crazy about me not wearing gloves. Like, I really don't understand. She's not having babies, no. The feather loss, she's a battery hen, a rescue hen. Her purpose was to lay eggs, mass distribution across our country's grocery stores, and then they are shipped off for slaughter. They are worthless chickens, basically, to the world. And there's some people who will have deals with hen houses, and they go and pick up hens, and then they go and sell them, and they make money. So we spent $30 each on buying 12 battery hens in April of 2025. It is gross. I mean, well, whatever. Gross is gross, but it's called Dawn dish detergent, and if you love life, you're going to do anything to save. I mean, these people who keep saying it's gross, I sure would hope you're not the one who drives by anybody who's been in a car accident and is dying on the side of the road, because you'll be one who's just pathetic. My nails don't cut her, obviously. I mean, I'm very gentle. And I'm not holding her for dear life. If she wanted to get away, she'd get away. You've already seen her a couple of times go, oh, no, no. My fingernails do not hurt her. Thank you. Okay, she's going to let me. I'm looking for an egg. What the fuck? This is all for educational. Thank you. Yes, it is all for education purposes here. If you go under my profile, you'll see under egg bound, I think I have like 200 some videos of me going into hens vents. I've actually worked with our local veterinarian here. She has referred and worked with me with a few hens that were egg bound, and she couldn't get the egg out. And it's not something that you want to do surgery on. And yet if a hen is egg bound and the egg doesn't come out within 48 hours, they're dead. Okay, so I can't read these comments right now, because otherwise I'm just getting, oh God, people talking about health. Just go scroll on, people. Okay. do try to share with people because it is true. She doesn't have an egg. She's dying. I mean, you know, this is what happens with battery hens. The damage is done. They're pumped full of injectable. These are the eggs you buy in the grocery stores, and you're like, ooh, eggs. These chickens that are producing those eggs are being pumped full injectable and edible hormones. That's why people are like, ooh, all organic. I want organic eggs, you know, which just means natural eggs. So, yes, she's dying. Battery hens, a normal chicken can live 8, 10, 12 years. Battery hens, because of the injectable hormones and everything else in their horrific, hellacious treatment of life in that first 12 to 18 months of their life, they only live to be about 3 years old. I don't think I've heard of anybody having a battery hen that's lived to be 5. So my girls, right now, we rescued 12 and we've lost 4. Nub is, you know, she's still happy. And this is what I'm trying to share with people, is that death is but a breath. Dying takes who knows how long. I don't know. It takes weeks sometimes for any body to shut down. The fact that the water is not coming out of her belly means it's all still impacted in here. And this is why I put the preparation H on, because the preparation H, I'm going to slab some more on there. The preparation H really helps with the inflammation and it feels cool on her bum. The Epsom salt soak, perfect thing for them. She does not have water belly. That's what I was looking for, but nothing came out. And I checked yesterday as well. So she's just going through something here, and I'm going to continue doing each day, you know, the Epsom salt soaks. And for right now, she loves her flock outside, and she's been living inside for the past several weeks. And every once in a while, she's like, I want to go outside. I'm like, go ahead, go on. She goes outside, she meets up with her flock. And then when they all go to bed, she's like, I think I want to come inside again tonight. Come on in, Nub, you're coming in. So whatever Nub wants at this point, Nub is getting. She is most precious to me. Very special bird to me. Why does what matter to me so much? No, she's not in pain. She's not in pain. Does she look like she's in pain? I give her pain medicine just so she's not in pain, and she's not in pain. She has a beautiful appetite. She eats like a horse, and she's a happy bird. She's just, I thought I would do this live video today because she happens to be a bird that presents with all of the issues, and this is an educational video. And so she happens to, Nub, present with all of the issues that many chicken people out there are wondering, what's wrong with my chicken? Could be water belly, could be sour crop, could be egg bound. You know, the list can go on and on. A battery hen is a hen that is born to lay eggs in mass production to be sold across countries' grocery stores. And they are raised in horrific conditions, in cages, 80 birds in a cage, ceiling to floor, wall to wall. They cut their beaks all the way down to the nub, so they don't kill each other because they're crammed in there just laying eggs for 12 to 18 months. They have no human contact during this time, really, other than who's coming in to clean up after them and whatever else. At the age of 12 to 18 months, they are shipped off for slaughter. And the slaughter that they're shipped off for is to be used in pet food. So not for human consumption, the battery hens. It is horrible. I'm not here to start any pickets against that. I understand the way that this, you know, our world is. It is awful. And I'm going to be rescuing some more battery hens soon. So I do feel I continue to massage, and that's what she definitely has sour crop. And I'm definitely treating her for that. So we've got that under control. Whoever else just jumped in on here, she's also on antibiotics, okay? She's on pain medicine. She's got the Monistat 7 in her. She's drinking the mother apple cider vinegar with crushed garlic in her water. And other than that, at this point, you know, she's whatever Nub wants, she can have. It is sad, I know. I don't know about baby roosters. I love my roosters. I have 11 roosters here, and they're quite amazing. Yesterday, I was inside, and I heard a hawk out there, and I went out and I screamed, "No!" really loud, and all 11 of my roosters started to scream, and at that point, I saw 3 hawks who were preying on my birds. What's wrong with her? Well, she's got sauerkraut, and she's got a very inflamed, belly down here that presents what I would have assumed was water belly, to be honest. And she's definitely not egg bound. These are my pets, and Nub is very special to me. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and wash my hands really quick. Nub, you just stay right there, okay? Nub, what do you say, Nub? Are you feeling okay? So do you see how she's going down towards her crop there, and she's looking at it with her beak? It's because it doesn't feel good. So after I end this live video, I'm still going to carry her around and continue to just massage. I was hoping maybe she will, but I was hoping she'd be able to do the what happens with sauerkraut, and she hasn't done that yet. But what you want to do with sauerkraut also, let's see if she'll let me. Okay. I mean, I have one video on my profile where I was like dancing with Lady M when she had sauerkraut and she died. It's a battery hen. I wish I could explain more. I thought a live video would do good. I don't know if it is explaining or if people are just freaking out because I didn't wear gloves. I do have Dawn dish detergent and fingernail brushes, and she's not in pain. She's a beautiful girl. Yeah, there are some cruel trolls coming through, and I just don't pay attention to it. So, with the sauerkraut, what you want to do is massage the crop. And what I found with my birds when they have sauerkraut is that I'll just go about cleaning up the kitchen, doing what I'm doing, and whenever I start to bend over, to pick something up, or whatever, well, that whole motion, think about you, if you gotta throw up, it kind of promotes them to want to, regurgitate if they have to. But the key is the massaging. And I don't think she's going to regurgitate. I don't know why. But when they do begin to regurgitate, it's not considered really vomit. You want to make sure that you're holding them upright so that it comes out. If she was going to regurgitate, you would see her beak start to kind of like when we get that, I'm going to throw up, that feeling. That's what you're going to see in their beak. And when you see that, you want to make sure you get them immediately downward like this to make sure that, they don't aspirate and choke. Because what a chicken wants to do when they start to regurgitate is they also throw their head back. And so you want to keep the head gentle down as they're regurgitating. When I first got chickens, and I took my first chicken to the vet, and she said, "What's her crop like?" I said, "Her crop?" I didn't know what a crop was. I was like, "I have a horse crop. I don't use it on my chickens." And she was like, "What?" So these are the reasons I started sharing my video. I'm getting bit by mosquitoes. These are the reasons I share my videos, is because I didn't know. And yet, for whatever reasons, I fell in love with chickens. And I have been passionate about daily research, talking to others worldwide via social media, as well as working with our local veterinarian and sharing with her and her with me things that we learn. Sauerkraut is a yeast infection of their crop. That's where my fingers are right here, the pouch where their food goes to. And sauerkraut usually comes from moldy feed, wet feed, which is very common because you feed chickens in feeders and they peck, 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 and the food falls to the ground. And I mean, you know, then you've got weather conditions going on. Even in an enclosed coop area, humiditure and moisture and that feed on the ground. So it's important to make sure you keep that feed off the ground, not let it accumulate. You got to keep that, and that's a hard thing to do. But this is not where she's getting her sauerkraut from. She's getting her sauerkraut as a secondary, you know, condition to masses, M-A-S-S-E-S. NUB has tumors inside of her, which have come from the injectable hormones from her battery hen days. How do you know they have sauerkraut? Well, after you massage like this for, you know, sometimes it takes 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, she's starting to do it a little bit. They'll pucker, and then they'll regurgitate it. And when they regurgitate it, the smell of sauerkraut is, well, it's sour food. So it's disgusting, the smell of it. And just imagine how disgusting it feels inside of them. So she's getting everything she needs. These are educational videos. Again, I can't stress that enough. And I'm here to share what I learn. I'm the Good Shepherd, Natalie, and I have 42 birds at this point here. Of those 42 birds, 11 of them are roosters. I've never had a rooster with sauerkraut, I'll tell you that much. The signs of sauerkraut are the same signs that you're going to see with being egg-bound or anything else. When a hen is not feeling good, remember the saying, birds of a feather flock together. So of my 42 birds, they have their own little mini flocks here and there and there. You know, the 11 roosters, they've all got their little clans out there. And so they're going to be together. So if you ever see one of your hens off to themselves, usually maybe in a corner, kind of their back towards everybody else, you want to definitely take a look at your hen and see what's going on. And it's really easy to feel. I mean, she's definitely got it. I don't know why she's not regurgitating. So I just keep yesterday and today, she's staying inside, and every time I come inside, I just keep massaging. How long does it take to go away? Well, think about a yeast infection for a woman, 7 to 10 days. The first 48 hours are crucial and vital with sauerkraut. That you definitely do not feed them no food for 48 hours. Nothing other than the mother apple cider vinegar with the crushed garlic and water, and giving them the Monistat 7 twice a day to the beak for 7 days. What happened with me with her is I didn't take my own advice the first time around, and she started to feel good after 3 days, and I just kind of let her go back outside for a few days, and then she came back in. So we do live and we do learn, and being the Good Shepherd, that's what I love about my life here, is that I don't have people like trolls that, you know, just want to say nasty things that they have no idea what they're even talking about. I love living in solitude because I don't consider anything I do to be wrong. I get excited when I'm wrong, as the universe might say, because I then know I can learn further how to make it right. But for me as the Good Shepherd Natalie, it's not about wrong or right. It's about life. And it's about, I love sharing my life with all of these animals here on our small hobby farm. So her crop, even massaging, I could feel it going down. A lot of times they're not going to regurgitate. They simply need to have this mushiness broken up. When you feel the crop and it's mushy, or if it feels, I was saying earlier in this video, if it feels like seeds, this is chicken feed in here, if it feels like a bean bag while you're doing this, that's sauerkraut. Okay? But a lot of times you can catch it and get rid of it. Do I get chicks? I incubate most of my birds here on the farm, but she is a rescue. We got 12 battery hens last April of 2025. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here in a minute. I've got to go and tend to the rest of my flock out there. Her crop has already gone down. I don't know if you can tell from the beginning of this video, but it's gone down quite a bit. And I'm just going to continue to massage. She is able to free range here in the house. I raised him since he was a baby. You would think he would be used to me. Yeah, she still does lay eggs. She does, absolutely. And so she's about 3 years old. And all of my battery hens, we were told when we rescued our battery hens in 2025, we were told they may never grow their feathers back. They had no feathers at all. We were told they may never lay an egg again. If anybody goes way back to April of 2025 on my videos to see the day I brought, and I have a whole slew of videos of bringing the battery hens home, it was a pitiful sight. I mean, I was in awe. I really was in awe. I had no idea. I thought we were getting 12 mature ladies for our hungry roosters. Battery hens are the most amazing, happy birds. These ladies sing to me. They want to be around me. They are loved by all in the flock and the farm. They have no problems with anybody. They don't fight with anybody. They're not madams like some of my hens can be madams, which are, you know, the tough cookies there. And battery hens, they live a very short life. And yet the joy that they have brought, as well as the ways that I feel about battery hens now, is that, well, I believe all life, humans and animals, deserve to know what heaven on earth is like first, before going to heaven. And so these girls were born into hell. And the first 12 to 18 months of their lives, it is hell. And that's all they know. So it's not hell to them, it's all they know. When we brought these girls back here to the farm, it was instant to see they were free ranging. They were no longer caged. They've been so happy. And they had no idea that if they didn't come home to our farm, they had no idea that they were going to be shipped off and killed for slaughter to be used in pet food. And yet what they do know is where they are is heaven on earth. And so it's a really beautiful gift for them to be able to come from hell to heaven on earth first, a little taste of heaven, and to receive human contact and love. And I am very emotional because I did just lose my one battery hen, Lady M, this past week. And I knew when I lost my first battery hen that these 12 sisters are so intimately connected and bonded. Lady M, who just passed away, my one battery hen, she died 12 times in 18 hours and would keep coming back. And when I say died, I mean died. Like, she did the whole pooping thing, the neck. I've seen hens die in my arms a lot. She came back 12 times. And when she finally passed away, Lady M, I found it really beautiful to think to myself, that was for her sisters. She's one of 12 sisters. And so I do know that they're all going to die, you know, kind of back to back, you know, because they all lived the same life and they were all pumped full of the same injectable and edible hormones and living in the same horrific conditions. So they're the sweetest birds, the sweetest, the sweetest. I'm definitely going to rescue more battery hens. I don't even know how we found them. I just was looking and somebody was like, oh, this lady has, I mean, when we first pulled up, we drove an hour away. You'd think in the country it would be easy to find mature hens. We had to drive an hour away, and we pulled up. It wasn't even a farm. It was just somebody's house. And her driveway was lined with, like, peacocks and turkeys and silky, all different birds. And we're like, we're here for the 12 hens? And she was like, go take your pick. I mean, they were everywhere in cages. And we wanted 12. And I was looking around, and some cages had like 50, some cages had like, 30. And then I saw her, Nub, and she was the tiniest one. And she was like right down in the middle of and I started counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 12. I was like, we want these 12 right here. It was Nub. Nub. And I named her Nub because she literally looked like she belonged in the grocery store refrigerated section for somebody's dinner. Except she had life in her eyes, and it was really the most bewildering, awkward, awesome in a bizarre way. Like, what is going on here? Like, what is this a chicken deal? Like a drug deal? Like, what's wrong with these chickens? There's nothing wrong with them. It's just the life that they've lived. And I'm blessed and honored and grateful to be their good shepherd. And I do know that aside from all of the troll issues here, which I'm not even looking at, it doesn't matter what anybody else says who's not living here with me. I know the joy I feel every day, waking up every morning like a child on Christmas morning to go out there and spend every day with my little flock. So I'm going to go ahead and end this live video. I want to thank everybody for joining in. And I hope whoever really joined in here, for chicken purposes, I hope you were able to take away something from this. I'm always available for questions. I'm not a veterinarian. I have worked with veterinarians. I used to work for a veterinarian. I am a certified veterinary practice manager from AHA, American Animal Hospital Association. And one of the biggest vets I worked for was an aviary veterinarian many, many years ago before I ever even got involved with chickens. So it's kind of beautiful for me to look at my life, hindsight, how I think heaven kind of plans it all. And, our life happens and then we're like, oh, wow, whoa. So heaven was like preparing me by having me work with these vets, knowing that it was going to be chickens. Me? I never would have thought chickens. And yet, that was our first gift when we sold our home in Florida and we had nowhere to go, and we found a rent-a-farm, and it wasn't meant to be listed as a rent-a-farm, it was meant to be listed as for sale. And yet we got it as a rental for a year. And then ultimately we moved in to my husband's childhood home here in North Carolina. So again, that was heaven preparing us. And our realtor, somebody gave her a little chicken, and it turned out to be a rooster. And she's like, I don't want a rooster. Do you want this rooster? And so Polly was his name, and that was our first rooster, Polly. And from there, I fell in love. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. I never know how to end these.